That is not how you make the playoffs, Columbus. If you don't show something now, you're never showing something. You don't deserve to make the playoffs then. Yeah, just wanted to quickly discuss both NBA and NHL are coming to their close in their seasons, less than 15 games remaining for each respective sport. I think the NBA, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Derek, most teams are down to 12 or 13 games
Yes, around there.
in the NBA. In the NHL, it's almost identical, around the same. So playoffs are right around the corner. With the NHL in particular, I wanted to just put on everybody's radar the wild card race, right? Within particularly within the Eastern Conference, there are, and I want to count it just to make sure, for the last wild card spot, there are one, two, three, four, five teams within 4 points of each other. You get 2 points per win in the NHL. Five teams within 4 points of each other for one last playoff spot. Electric. Electric stuff, right? All of these teams have some of the toughest schedules remaining in the NHL, particularly Montreal Canadiens, the Columbus Blue Jackets, and the New York Islanders. They have three of the top 10 hardest remaining schedules in the NHL. So if you're going to make the playoffs, you better fucking earn it. You're going to earn it, which is awesome to see. Right as of right now, Montreal does hold the top spot with 75 points. They're one ahead of the redacted team that I said that I will not discuss for the remainder of the year. So they are 1 point ahead, but they do have games in hand, which is huge this time of year. Games in hand is just another way of saying they played less games, right? So they're ahead in the standings with playing less games, so they have more games remaining. That is a huge factor when you look at it coming down the stretch here. So, going to be fun to watch. I did want to give my prediction into it. The Ottawa Senators currently hold the number one wildcard spot at 79 points. I do think they hold on. They're playing really good hockey lately. I think they hold on and they hold that number one wildcard spot. I wanted to make my prediction on who I think is going to win the number two spot. And I'm actually going to go a little chalk here. I'm going to go with the Montreal Canadiens. They've been playing phenomenal hockey over the last two weeks around, right? Their last 10 games, they're 5-1-4, which doesn't sound great, but that's 5 wins in regulation, 4 losses in overtime. So you still get a point for those losses. So just to put in perspective, they're still playing hardcore hockey. They're still playing close hockey. I think it's going to come down to the wire between them and the New York Islanders, just based on how the points, based on how the schedules, based on how the games remaining are going. I do want to give shit to the Columbus Blue Jackets. They had this second spot locked up 2 weeks ago, and in their last 10 games, they are 2-7-1, and they have lost 6 in a row. That is not how you make the playoffs, Columbus. That's
That's
not how you do it.
that's horrible.
2 weeks ago, they were 5 points clear of a playoff spot. They were in the number one wild card spot ahead of Ottawa. And then you'll lose 6 in a row.
That's brutal.
You don't deserve to make the playoffs then.
No.
You're in the same realm as this shithole right here. So you know what? Go home, work on some shit, or alternatively, show some cojones, a nice sack. You have 13 games remaining, Columbus. How about maybe you go out there and prove that these last 6 games were a fluke? Show a little something. Show a little heart. Because it's that time of year. If you don't show something now, you're never showing something. And that's just the fact of the matter. And I did want to update some people. The Blue Jackets and the Islanders are actually playing each other tonight. It is 3-3 going into overtime.
Lovely. And,
Which is
and explain, obviously, in overtime in hockey, each team gets a point. No matter
each
what.
team gets the winner of overtime and or shootout gets that so lucrative second point.
Yes. Very much.
So this is a huge game for both of them. The podcast will end before we decide a winner, unfortunately. So I apologize for even mentioning it. However, I did want to mention the wild card race. It is electric. this time of year. Not for me. Not for me particularly, right?
Hey,
I'm
it's not over yet.
Go fuck yourself. We already discussed this last week. I'm not going to get into rage mode again. My prediction, the Montreal Canadiens will get the second spot. We'll see how it goes next week. We'll revisit this next week, Derek, when there are a few more games being played. We'll see who holds that spot then. Currently, I think the Islanders may hold it by the end of the week, which would be awesome as well. So that is my 5 minutes with the team.
Good job, Dean.